in golf there's a saying, you drive for show and you putt for dough. It's pretty much the same in hoof trimming. You grind for show and the knives are for dough. In other words, the grinders do the bulk of the work and the knives really make the big differences. So what knives do I use? Why do I use them? How do you get them sharp? And how do you know they're really sharp? Let's see if we can even shave with them. Here's some slow-mos of me chopping a banana with the knife that I've just sharpened. Now it's not important that it can chop a banana, pretty much any decent sharp knife can chop a banana like it is in the picture, but look at this last clip. This is what's important. As you slice down through the banana like you would a hoof, the banana that has been cut away from the larger piece on the front side of the knife is actually pushed away from the banana right here. Now that's not me pushing the part of the banana away, that's the knife throwing it away because it has a single beveled edge, and this is what's key in a hoof trimming knife and key in the way that we sharpen it. Okay, so this is my knife sharpener. It's homemade because I couldn't find one that I liked that was powerful enough and fast enough and the right price. So on here there's a rubber and carbon composite wheel that does the majority of the sort of the donkey work, takes off the meat of the knife if you like, and over here is the buffing wheel, so it's just a metal polishing wheel. Here are the knives. So this is a left hand knife. I don't use many of them at all. This isn't all my knives obviously. This is a left-handed knife. These four are all right-handed. This is a short handle, long blade, double-edged knife. This is a short handle, single-edged knife. This is a long handle, short blade, double-edged knife. And this is a short handle, long blade, unground double-edged knife. So they all sound complicated, but they're not. So this is what you would call a traditional hoof trimming knife. It's a right-handed single-edged knife, and it's for doing all sorts of tasks, from dishing out to working with small problems and doing all of the knife work in replacement of a grinder. So this is the kind of knife you're best using if you don't use a grinder. This here is a right-handed knife. It's got a longer handle and a short blade. The reason it's got a longer handle is actually to help your wrist. It's to stop getting sore wrists, and the short blade is used predominantly for modelling, so you'd use this along with a grinder. And this knife here is a traditional sized double-edged knife. Now the reason it's rusty is I don't really use it at all. The reason I don't use it is it's not pre-ground, so it's a much fatter, thicker blade, so it's much harder to use. You can't get them as sharp as you can a ground blade. So these two knives here are actually the same. This one is pre-ground and this one is not. This one you can get much sharper, but it won't last as long. If I move this knife slowly, you can see all those little scratches on the edge, and those little scratches are actually what make it blunt. So in order to get rid of them, we're gonna use the sharpening machine. This side of the knife is the one we sharpen. The back we don't sharpen, and that's called a single beveled edge. So most kitchen knives are double edged. What that means is you sharpen both sides to about 17 degrees, or anywhere between 15 and 20 degrees really. The reason a kitchen knife is double beveled is because you usually try to chop something in half, so you're pushing through both sides. Now a hoof trimming knife would be similar to a knife that you would use to peel a potato. So you sharpen one edge and leave the back side flat. That's because you're trying to remove something. So as you push through the hoof like this, the knife should be pulling one part of whatever it is you're cutting away from the other part, the bulkier part. And if you had sharpness on both sides of the knife would be pushing into whatever product it is you're cutting. So you would be led into deeper tracks. So if you had a double beveled knife, and you tried to trim a hoof with it, you would find that the knife was led deeper and deeper into the horn, and you wouldn't get good, smooth consistent lines through it. The hook of the knife isn't used that much by traditional hoof trimmers, but it is very good for peeling away hard outer wall horn that is particularly tough, because obviously it's the weight bearing surface. So you can peel away gently with that hook of the knife. You find people who have blunt knives end up using the hook of the knife because it stays sharper longer, when in reality they should just sharpen their knives. This long handled short blade is the one that I prefer the most because I use a grinder. I've been using this all day, so there are a few inconsistencies in the blade, so we're going to go ahead and sharpen it. So you want to put that edge at 15 degrees to the wheel, which is about there, and you want to move in consistent lines right across the width of the blade, very gently, because you're not trying to remove a lot of material. You just want gentle strokes. And then on the back side, if you're double edged, again it's exactly the same movement, so right across. And to sharpen the hook of the knife, you only sharpen the outside. You should hold it here and rotate round like this. So that will put your edge back on the knife, and it'll take away most of the deep scratches from the actual knife, but it won't get it truly sharp. In order to get it truly sharp, we need to use the polishing end of the grinding machine, which is this. Now this green stuff, it's actually a white disc. The white disc is a mop style disc, so you can actually pull it apart like this, and you can see inside it's made completely of cloth. And what we do is we dress it with a polishing compound. Now I use green polishing compound because I find it gets the sharpest edges. A lot of people use brown and some people use white, and white is a little too smooth for my liking. You seem to have to push a lot harder. Now to dress the wheel, you switch it on and hold like so. So switch it on. It looks like it's, in the video, it looks like it's wonky, but it's not. So to dress it, see that black line? We just push our clay in. We want right on the edges. And that's it, dressed. So that was just the inside, the sharp edge being sharpened. We don't touch the back, so we don't touch this side, we don't touch the back side at all. And that's enough. Now to sharpen the hook, use the inside and here. And to get the top of the hook, it's round gently like that. So we've got the basis of a sharp knife now. So it's consistent and fluid, there are no bumps, the angle is the same, it's constant, the full length of the blade. And now we're going to go ahead and take away any little scratches that this disc has actually imprinted in here. They're actually called striations, so we're going to remove the striations, which will get a truly sharp knife. Now, there's now a beveled edge on this side, and we don't want that. We need to get rid of this little shard edge. It's literally one pass across like that. So that's removed any excess which was sitting on this side of the blade. Now we're going to do the same on the back. And that is that side done. So we haven't sharpened it, we've just removed the excess metal. Now on to sharpen it. So again, 15 to 20 degrees, 17 is perfect. And we need to apply quite a lot of pressure now to get rid of all of those little striations. You can see I'm taking a lot more time on this side because this is how to get a truly sharp knife. Checking to make sure that we're getting rid of them, which we are. And then the back side. And we do the hook here. Now it's extremely important you don't go too crazy with the hook here, because if it catches the mop, the knife will be thrown away underneath the grinder and ripped out of your hand. make sure you don't catch the top of the knife. Catch the top, but you pull it down as well. And that's that shot. And we're done. So the hook of the knife should only really be used on the wall horn. As you can see, this one is nice, sharp. Very, very easy just to gently pare away at the wall with that hook. The blade should always be used in a cutting motion. So you see people pulling like this straight through and struggling. Knives are designed to be cut in motion. From left to right. So you've sharpened your knives, but you need to make sure they're extremely sharp. How'd you go about that? This is how. So everyone knows the best way to check your knives are sharp in the morning. Pretty sure this is anyway. You know I do Monday morning. Yep, should be sharp enough. So just to summarise everything, if you're using a grinder, you want a long-handled, short-bladed knife to use to do your modelling with and to peel away any horn from abscesses or white line defects or sole ulcers. If you're not using a grinder, you want a traditional, long-edged, short-handled knife, and that is going to give you not the most purchase, but it will give you the greatest cut across the breadth or width of the horn. To sharpen them, you need to use a grinding wheel that has a rubber carbon composite, and that is sharpened on one side, so single beveled, the cutting side, to about 15 to 20 degrees, or 17, which is perfect. And then once you've done that, quickly take the shard of metal which you've created, or the bar, from the back of the knife off using the mop of your sharpener. Then use your mop on the front of the knife. This is the part that's going to get your knife extremely sharp. So use a good cut and paste, a green compound or a brown compound is usually best, and apply extreme pressure, but be very careful not to catch the top of the knife. That's me. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. Let me know if I didn't.